The First Crusade by Luca Bernato. During the fall of 1095 in south-central France, Pope Urban II called for a crusade to not only help the Byzantines, but to gain access to the city of Jerusalem. Alexis Comnenus, a Byzantine emperor, also wanted a war to unfold because he requested help in reconquering from the Seljuk Turks the lost territory of Asia Minor. Also during this time, Pope Urban II made a very powerful speech explaining why the Christians should fight the Muslims to regain the Holy Land. Some events that did occur in the First Crusade were the meeting at Constantinople, crossing Asia Minor, the siege of Antioch, and reaching Jerusalem. The reasoning behind this crusade was for Pope Urban II and the Christians to regain the control of Jerusalem. This crusade occurred so various knights had a chance to try and take Jerusalem away from the Muslims. Most of these major events occurred in Asia Minor, Constantinople, and Jerusalem. And some of the major leaders in this crusade were Godfrey of Bouillon, Bohemond of Taranto, Pope Urban II, and Alexis Comnenus. Godfrey of Bouillon was one of the chief lay leaders of the First Crusade and the first ruler of the newly formed state of Jerusalem. In 1100 he died, but we will all remember the help he gave the Christians in the First Crusade. Bohemond of Taranto was a member in the First Crusade, but he was a main leader in conquering the Battle of Antioch. Being the oldest of his brothers, he grew tall and strong. He also became Prince of Taranto. Pope Urban II was the one that created the poem to persuade the Christians and the others to fight another holy war. Alexis Comnenus was a Byzantine emperor from 1081 to 1118. He also saved the empire from almost certain disaster and led it through the first encounter with the Crusades. Even as a little boy, Alexis was noted for his great military success. During this crusade, there are three sides: the Christians, the Muslims, and the Seljuk Turks. The first of the four planned Crusader armies arrived in Constantinople, at that time ruled by Alexis Comnenus. A bishop back in Germany hides over 1,000 people in his basement, but the Crusaders find out and kill most of them. Men, women, and also children are all slaughtered indiscriminately. Also, a couple months later, Godfrey of Bouillon decides to join the First Crusade as the head of an army of at least 40,000 soldiers. Led by Raymond of Toulouse, Godfrey of Bouillon, Robert of Flanders, and Bohemond of Taranto, the army of Christian knights crossed into Asia Minor in 1097. In June, the Crusaders captured the Turkish-held city of Nicaea and then defeated a massive army at Dorylaeum. With the arrival of Duke Robert of Normandy, all major Crusader knights are together in Asia Minor. Crusaders began the siege of Nicaea, a mostly Christian city guarded by several thousand Turkish troops. After a long time, the Crusaders captured Antioch after a long siege, and this has delayed progress towards gaining Jerusalem back by a whole year. Since the Christian army is so large, they were rapidly running out slim on foods and necessities. The Christians show no mercy and give it their all. They ended up winning the Battle of Antioch against the Muslims. The Muslims become panicked and retreat elsewhere. After winning the Battle of Antioch, The Christians marched on to reach Jerusalem in 1099. The Christians end up winning the First Crusade. They take complete control of Jerusalem and rule 4 Latin states from Edessa to Jerusalem. In their minds, the Christians are probably going ecstatic because of how much land they own, and how much land they own is a better chance of going to heaven. The importance of this crusade was so others had a chance to take over the Holy Lands. With the Christians taking over, they definitely got the job done. Not only the First Crusade, but all of the Crusades could have been avoided if they just kept care of their land and not worried about anybody else's land and just theirs. What I liked about researching my topic was how there was a lot of information on my subject, so it was much easier to research. And what I disliked was how the Jewish knights hid in various homes. This was a way of cheating. The Egyptians sent an army to give one last shot at winning Jerusalem. The Crusaders didn't let that happen. In 1100, far after the First Crusade was over, the Polynesian islands were first colonized, and Islamic rule was weakened because of power struggles among Islamic leaders and the Christian Crusaders. In my opinion, I feel like the Christians deserve to win. They're very determined to take over Jerusalem, and I think they just fought better.